I have a topic for us, actually.
Okay.
I'll save it for our air, though.
Well, it's recording.
We are.
I mean, we don't have to actually start the podcast, but we're recording.
Nice. Okay. Should we make sure that the cameras are working correctly?
Yeah, I think you're a little out of focus. Talk.
Should I move further?
Talk.
Check. 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 A little out of focus. Now it looks good.
Maybe it's just the TV is soft. Okay. Yeah.
Should we start?
Sure.
Oh, so if you hit the so if you hit the table, it activates the GoPro.
Because it sounds like both of us are talking. It's picking up in both of our mics.
Oh, is that what it's doing?
Yeah.
So now we can.
Both. So what should we do? Should I look at you or should I be looking at the cameras?
I'm not even on the GoPro shot. Yeah, let's move over.
I'm barely in it. Should I move over? Should we be facing the monitors or facing each other?
Hey, we should definitely be facing each other.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, just kind of, let them do their thing, right? Episode 20 of the Garage Party Podcast, live once again from Garage 109 in Bayside.
Yeah.
But not live. I always say live. I don't know why I do.
I don't know why you say live.
I say live every time. I think it's just the
We
thing.
could
in my
live
head.
stream.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Right
a
from this.
little bit difficult.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, perhaps.
Just for fun.
We'll discuss. We'll make sure to let you know on our social media if we're going to do it, though. But yeah, Garage 109. We are recording once again from in here.
Auto switching.
Beautiful day today, November, and it's about 60 degrees today, so it feels pretty nice. We're in here. It's
Nice
not
and
too
comfortable
cold.
in the garage.
Nice and comfy. We're doing good.
It's very dirty in here.
You'll notice by
they
now.
chopped down that stump, that tree. They grinded the stump. So you see how much crap got in the garage?
Like tree stuff.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I see it.
wood dust. It was everywhere.
Wood dust.
Everywhere.
Wood dust.
Like
It's a funny combination of words. Wood dust. But yes,
talking. Hey.
there you go. So you've noticed
Where's my
by
camera?
now.
Where's my
What are we looking? So you've noticed by now that we have 3 cameras working.
If you're watching on YouTube. If you're not.
We-
If you're
right,
just
yes.
listening, go to YouTube.
Right. So if you're listening on Spotify,
us out.
SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, or iTunes, go to YouTube because you will see we are advancing our show even further. We took it further last week with the drop it. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So you see, bit of an echo in this garage, huh? So you see, we've taken things further. We have a board now that we operate, and we can have the ability to kind of drop in some music and change our voices. Just little things that we could do to make things a little bit more interesting for you. But now this episode, I mean, we're growing by the episode here. 19, we added the voices and the music. Episode 20, which you're currently listening to, we added 3 cameras to the mix. So now when one of us talks, the camera just locks in on one of us, so that you get a nice look at us. And now for episode 21, we have some plans. I'm not going to tell you what it is right away, but next week you'll see it.
It's a
It's a
mystery
good
to
one.
me too.
Well, I mean, we discussed a little bit before the show.
Oh, yeah.
but,
Okay.
Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
should be good. I think.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
the
Yep.
folks will enjoy.
Enjoy. They'll enjoy it, just like they enjoy this.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Even when we do that other thing, I think we should keep this song.
I agree. I
Great.
agree.
It's great. I think this is our theme song.
Is this a theme song? What
This is our theme song.
Is this like?
This is our jingle.
Do they consider this royalty-free music? Is that what this is
Yeah,
called?
100%. This is our jingle, though.
This is the
Hey.
official Garage Party Podcast jingle. Should we find the writer of this and
No.
talk to him about it?
Nope.
No.
He's going to want a piece of the action.
Yeah, I don't think so. No, he's not getting that because we don't get action. Episode 20. We're slowly but surely creeping up the ladder here.
You said you had a topic for us.
I have a little bit of a topic. It's a interesting time in the country. So, and I know you. I'm not going to get into this because I know that you despise the topic as well as Paul. But politics, we're coming off a very highly contested election going on right now. I want to know.
If you were running for president, what would be your thing? What attracts voters to you?
Pedophilia.
That's your thing, huh?
I'm gonna be the pedophile, like the guy.
President pedophile.
Yeah.
President pedophile.
The pedophile buster.
You're going to have a hard time getting some votes that way. But I want to know the platform that you would run on that you think would attract voters to you.
Yeah, pedophilia.
Pedophilia, yeah, because everybody's interested in that. And don't give me something, nonsense like tax, whatever. No, I want to know something creative, something different that's going to draw people to your corner. And don't say pedophilia.
You don't think that'll work?
I don't think it'll work. I think you might have a hard time running on that platform. Hey, check it out now. Yeah, that looks better.
Much better. Yeah.
There's a little film on the GoPro camera. Nicely done. Is that new?
I have another one. I just haven't used this one.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Brand new. Right out of the box. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. What's your platform, Billy?
I don't have one.
Come on. You got to have something. I
You
don't
really
know what
put
mine
me
is
on the
either.
spot.
That's the point.
I mean,
That's the point. Right?
yeah. So obviously, I'm just a
Uh,
man of integrity who likes to touch little boys.
yes, sir. That's not great. That's not going to get you very far.
No.
No.
Ah,
That's
guess I'm not cut out
You're
for
going to
this.
lose a lot of states. You might not lose California, though. You might be able to win California.
Okay. I was
But,
thinking like Missouri would really like me.
They may. Alabama. We're just losing voters left and right. I mean, we're just losing listeners left and right with this topic.
What about Arkadelphia?
Arkadelphia,
Arkadelphia might vote for the.
a place we one day would like to go.
You like facing your camera?
Not like facing you, but, it looks
Uh-huh.
better on camera if I'm, like, facing it. It looks better on the GoPro. Right? So watch. Doesn't that look better?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Maybe next week we do the GoPro as a full-blown like top mount shot, like
Overlooking us?
like top of our scalps.
a
like,
bird's eye garage
like a
party
bird's eye.
podcast? Interesting.
might look cool.
Could. We're open to suggestions. here.
Something
We
to think about.
We could always like just tinker around and like
Yeah.
see what works and what doesn't work.
And then if we get bored, hey.
So Cape Cod,
Went great.
great time.
Got rich on a kayak.
Really enjoyed it. Did not think that I would ever in my life be out in any body of water on a kayak. And
Yep.
you got me out there. You got Paul out there too, which his odds were probably just
It wasn't.
as low as mine.
We thought it was gonna be pretty cold. It was not too bad.
Wasn't that bad at all. I thought that it was
We got lucky.
comfortable.
Yeah, we got lucky with like the weather at that exact time.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it was pretty cold, pretty windy, pretty rainy.
Yes.
So I think we went in like the perfect window
Yeah.
of our trip.
Well, our one full day in Cape Cod was beautiful. However, the bookends, the day that we arrived and the day that we left, not so good at all. But, weather-wise. But the day that was beautiful outside, we decided to take out some kayaks, something that I never thought I would do. And, I was I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous at first.
He's like, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna fall in the water.
I was like, I'm
gonna
definitely gonna
tip.
tip it
You know,
over,
like,
yeah.
How hard is this? How
Right.
much skill does this take?
and
It
you were
takes
literally
very
like,
little skill.
It takes very little skill. And in fact, I think you put it best when you said it's almost impossible, and you have to really try to tip it over.
It's hard to tip.
You really have
It was
to tip
just
it
like
over.
one of these right here. What's going on?
Are we losing one?
Oh, GoPro might have died. Okay,
That's gone.
that sucks.
Anyway,
I'll switch.
the great time. Loved it. It's very like, what's the word? I don't know about relaxing because it's a lot of like upper body work, but it's like
To me, it's relaxing because for some of it, you just kind of sit and
you just sit there.
coast.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like relax, kick back, and you're like, all right, I'm good. Like I could
Mhm.
definitely chill out here for a little bit. And then we were out there. I would say what would you say? Like a mile out there when we encountered our friends.
If that.
So we're a decent ways out there. And, obviously me, I'm not a great outdoorsman. So anytime I hear of, other things in the water below me, I'm going to get nervous. So we're out there, and I'm kayaking along, having a great time. I'm like, oh, this is great. Very relaxing, very just peaceful, in touch
I was
with
trying to
nature.
recover. Yeah, there we go.
Hey, split screen. It's gone. But I love the whole aspect of it is just very, very nice. So anyway, we're out there.
Because you can make a day at like it was later in the day, so we didn't have.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't go out there
but
until like 4:15,
you could see how you can make a
4:30.
day of it. Like if we wanted to go like way down the river, and then we could pack a little lunch. You throw it on the back of the kayak. You stop at one
Yeah,
point.
that would
you
actually
eat a
be
little
pretty
lunch.
cool. Yeah.
Pack a little mini cooler, some beers.
That's actually really cool. See, that's not, but you got to really be out there for a long time, right? Like, what do you think how long can you possibly stay out there? 5 hours, 4 hours?
I mean, I've kayaked for like close to 4 hours, 5 hours.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're out there, and all of a sudden, I think it was Paul turned to me, and he was like, oh, something ahead of us. And I was like, what?
Well, I stopped because we were
You were the one who saw it first.
we were paddling out, and we were gonna like go to this overpass, which was like
Far.
a mile if we
Yeah.
just straight paddled
Mm-hmm.
for like 7-8 minutes straight.
Yeah.
We would have eventually hit it, but I stopped straight, and I was like, Paul, do you see that creature? Because we were just talking about the Loch Ness monster like right before that. I'm like,
Mhm.
do you see that creature popping in and out of the water?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, is that a log? I'm like, let's get closer to it. And Rich thought the opposite.
I very quickly learned how to turn my kayak around.
Yeah, he learned how to turn very quickly.
Very
that
quickly.
day.
When you're under stress, you can really do anything. It's like those people who say when times are when you're in an emergency, you can like lift a car. Well, I was able to do a complete 180 of my kayak in like a matter of 2 seconds. I completely turned it around and was headed back for shore before
He turned into a pro paddler.
you can even say the word kayak. I flew back because I wasn't sure what it was, and I'm not going to take any chances. You two want to go off and find out what it is. That's on you.
When approaching it, like, Paul's like, I think it's a beaver, which was plausible because, like, it looked like, like a fat beaver tail coming out of the
Mhm.
water, but then, like, it was doing, like, this hooking, almost like a dolphin type motion
Yes.
because
yes.
we just saw, like, a fuzzy little face, and then...
And I saw it too. It almost looked like it was just like going, like Billy just said, like straight up and
Yeah.
straight down. So anyway, I turned around. So I cannot speak to the rest of the story because Billy and Paul were the only ones who actually went out there to discover exactly what it was. I came back later on once I found out what it was. But you guys went out there, and how close did you get to it before you actually realized that it was what it was?
When we realized, like, I was, like, Googling stuff. I'm like, nah, I was, like, Paul pulled up next to me. I pulled up a picture of a beaver. I'm like,
No,
that's not a beaver.
Yeah.
And then we started looking at seals, and then we got a good glimpse of, like, maybe from, like, 25, 30 yards away,
Mm-hmm.
a good glimpse of it, like, its face, and then it just went back in. And then we were trying to, like, chase him around, but then, like...
And it was a seal.
Yeah.
Seal.
It was numerous seals. It was
There were many of them. Yes.
maybe 10, 12
Yes,
seals.
I would say that there were a number of them. Apparently, when I turned around and I did my 180, one was right by me and I didn't even know it. You said you saw it close to me from a distance.
Not then, when you started coming back to us.
That's when you saw it?
Yeah.
Okay. Phew. Man,
Because
if
you were
I'd
trying to
seen
talk to
that
us, and there was, like, a seal, like...
right over by me.
Right near you, yeah.
If I had seen that.
But one came up real close to Paul, like, within 15 feet, probably.
He said he heard it breathing.
Yeah, he heard it right behind him.
Yeah, see, that's pretty crazy. And they were big, too. You were telling me they were like 50, 60 pounds. These are not like, these are not little.
From, later on, from some Google imaging, I realized they're harbor seals, which, let's look up the size of a harbor seal.
Harbor seal. See, I was just relieved.
130 pounds.
Phew. The smallest, or they can get up to 130?
I think that's average.
Damn. So very easily could have tipped us if it wanted to. Is what
Yeah,
you-
if it
is
wanted
what
to
you're
mess
saying.
with us, it
If it
could.
really wanted to mess with us, it absolutely could have tipped us over. If it felt threatened or something. Do harbor seals attack? Is that like a thing? Like,
I don't know.
what if we had fallen in the
I
water?
just learned they were a thing.
Would it have tried to like attack us? I don't know.
They live up to 35 years old, though. They grow up to 6.5 feet long. Some of them can get up to 370 pounds. And they live for close to 35 years.
Man, if I had seen that coming towards me, Would have been bad news, man.
Even the babies can be 35 pounds. That would have been nice to see a little baby.
Yeah. I mean, we saw them for a while. Then we kind of chased them around for a little bit in the kayaks, because we wanted to get closer to them. I don't know why. Doesn't really make sense. Seems like a good way to get hurt.
We were doing it for a good video.
Yeah, which we
Which
didn't
we didn't
get. Yeah, we never got it. They're very quick. They're elusive, It's hard to track down a seal. Very difficult.
At least me and Paul tried.
I did come back. I came back.
After
I said, you know what? I'm not
after
gonna
45 minutes of me and Paul hanging out with seals.
easily. And then I came back, and then we chased down some while I was there. We tracked down a couple, and then it was back to shore. I was just relieved that it wasn't a shark. Because I had looked up previous to this that a shark had actually gotten into this pond.
It was literally the fakest article ever.
No, it was a true story.
It was a super fake
was
article.
definitely
You
a
showed me the picture from that article. And
No.
I'm like, that's Photoshopped.
It was, but the article was true. They may have just doctored the picture to, for what do they call that? Hollywoodize it,
No.
just to kind of give it effect. But
Fake news.
the article itself, I think,
Fake as fuck.
was correct.
Fake as fuck.
You think?
Uh-huh.
What are the chances that there would be an article written about the exact pond we were in and a shark getting into it?
Popular pond, popular fishing spot, popular kayaking spot, popular boating spot. You know?
But now you're better with geography than me. Can you rule out that a shark could get into that pond?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
How?
Well, you said it was a white shark. That's no shot. The shark probably could, like a smaller thresher shark, something like that.
Does it matter? Like, they'll hurt you too.
I've been up pretty close to a thresher shark in the Bay of Long Island.
In a kayak?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that would terrify me. You were fine? You didn't care?
Yeah, just stay out of its way.
Probably a good idea. How big was it?
6 or 7 feet. They have these really long tails. That's how they kill little fish. They whip their tail.
Thrash it.
Yeah. Thresher.
Man, if I had seen a thrasher shark out there, I think my kayaking days would have been over. As quickly as it came is as quickly as it gone if I had seen that.
It may have enhanced your experience.
Yeah, it definitely would have enhanced my experience because I would have had a cool story to tell. Like, yeah, I came face to face with a shark and survived.
Because it only saw my back.
Yeah, it only saw my back as I was pedaling away from it 100 miles an hour. But no, it was a cool experience. Now, I think I would definitely kayak again. However, I would have to suggest that I only kayak in water where I know that there's not going to be sharks, seals, things that can tip me.
You're out on seals, too?
No, I would do, like the pond we just did, I would do that again.
Because as you name things, you're running out of waters that you can kayak in.
Like a pool? I'm just going to be in like a pool mix,
Yeah.
just going around.
LA Fitness.
Yeah. Just sitting there, swiping my card and going like this. No, there's got to be bodies of water where there's a guarantee that you're not going to, especially here, right? Because we're not going to get seals here.
I mean, there's animals that you won't get seals. You might get you're more likely to get a shark here than
That's true.
I mean, well, it depends where you go. Because, like, out near, like, Montauk,
Sharks.
sharks, seals,
Everything.
whales, dolphins.
Now, so anyway, we get back from Cape Cod, and I'm, like, juiced up about the kayaking experience. I'm like, oh, this was cool. I would definitely do this again. And every morning when I wake up, I read articles, like, from the Post or, wherever it may be.
Oh, that whale thing, right?
And I
That's what you were
literally
saying.
come across an article about two people out on a kayak in California.
You see the video?
Yeah, it was insane. I literally come across this article where there's a story about two people out on a kayak having a beautiful day, probably packed a little picnic basket, like you said, out there, out in California, and all of a sudden, they're sitting there, and a whale comes out of the water and eats them.
It didn't,
And then spits them out.
It didn't really eat them.
They went into the mouth, and he decided, the whale was like, I'm going to spit you out. And that's exactly what he did. Could there possibly be anything worse than that?
Yeah, there's definitely things worse. You can get hit by a bus and die.
Aside from death, while kayaking, is there anything worse than being eaten by a whale? I guess eaten by a shark. Probably more painful, right?
Yeah, maybe if like locusts came and started eating at your boat and you were slowly just sinking while you were in the middle of the ocean.
That would be pretty bad. Because, like, you're done.
Yeah.
How do you get rid of locusts?
I don't know. I think you have to like say
Is it-
10 Hail Marys. Or
Is that like a
something.
raid thing? Can you just get raid and, like...
Locusts?
Yeah.
No, I think you have to.
What
like,
are locusts?
I don't know. They're like biblical little bugs that only come around every 100 years.
But it is in the insect family.
yes,
And what do? They just destroy everything that they eat?
I think so. I don't really know.
Are they like termites?
Think like anatomy-wise, they're pretty close looking to a termite, but much bigger. They look like praying mantises, I think.
But can cause massive amounts of damage.
Let's look one up.
When was the last time that somebody, I would say in the world, but in the United States, saw a locust?
This year.
Really?
Yeah.
So they do exist.
I mean, it's very rare.
How many locusts are in the world today?
Probably a lot.
So if they were to band together, we would all kind of be in bad shape, right? Like it would be bad news.
I mean, when they come, they wreak havoc.
I mean, this looks East Africa. It looks like a grasshopper.
Yeah.
Now,
Nope.
what do they do? What about them destroys things? That's what I'm kind of
I don't
confused
know.
about. Boy, sucks for this guy, huh?
It looks like he set them free. I think he's just an asshole. He's playing victim.
Wow. They're huge. Locusts are swarming in record numbers in 2020. That's just what we need now.
They're out there.
We haven't had enough.
Just
In
waiting
2020.
But what I was on my phone looking for is up the Hudson. There's a spot called Croton Point, which I've been wanting to go to in kayak. It's like a little lighthouse.
Whole Croton Point kayaking.
Yeah, it's up the Hudson.
Sharks in there?
In the Hudson? I mean, they could, but not. This is pretty shallow, so no.
That's cool. I would do that.
Yeah, it's a nice little area. I got two kayaks right behind Richard here.
Crocs?
I don't think it's on.
Any crocs?
Definitely not Crocs.
So what would concern you most about in that water?
That water?
Yeah.
A boat.
I could deal with that. Boat's not going to hit us.
I think a boat's more dangerous than a shark.
How? You can get out of the way, can't you?
It creates a wake.
And then it just flips you?
Yeah, like a irresponsible boater can definitely.
So then why are people allowed to kayak there?
What do you mean?
Like, if there's a high chance of you getting tipped over by a boat,
Everyone's supposed to be responsible, and just like on the road, you're supposed to
You
know,
stay
look
away
out
from the
look out
boats.
for people, and
you want to kayak on the
communicate
Hudson,
or-
you said, right? Like, you want to kayak on the Hudson River.
that is the Hudson.
But, like, where Sully landed, I'm talking about.
No,
You can't do that, right?
you can.
You can kayak
You
there?
can kayak around like Liberty Island.
Really?
Yeah.
You
we can launch right out of here, Bayside Marina.
and get to the Hudson River?
That's a firm 20-mile paddle probably, but you could. You'd have to go around
Well, you wouldn't-
under the Throg's Neck, under the Whitestone.
Right. But you wouldn't be able
Under-
to, you
under-
can't come back.
What's
you can't.
the next bridge? The GW.
I just feel like it would be cool to, like, be on a kayak and see the city skyline.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm
So,
sure it's nice.
What's the closest point that we
But
would have to...
I feel like that water's gross.
Yeah, the Hudson, it's filthy.
But if you go up, that's near like Tarrytown, that spot I was telling you.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's an hour north.
So if me and you right now took these kayaks and we deployed right over here at the Bayside Marina, how long is it taking us to get to the George Washington Bridge?
The George Washington Bridge.
How long?
I'm just speculating
On kayak. And
mileage.
we can't go full speed because, we have to save some energy for the way back.
Well, it's a river, so you have a tide to it. So I gotta find the GW.
Is that legal?
Is what legal? Kayaking?
Yeah.
Of course.
On the Hudson River?
Yeah, of course.
We're not going to get
Oh,
stopped.
GW is actually upriver a little bit, right?
Well, what the closest one?
The closest bridge?
Well, how long is it going to take us to get to a point where we can see the city?
Not very far at all. Not very long at all.
Really?
Yeah, because you could see it from like Fort Totten.
So why don't we go right now?
It's pitch black for one.
City skyline. Skyline at night. It's all lit up. We can see everything we got to see.
Where's my
I would do this.
Let's see. You want a time frame for how long it will take?
Is there like a section in the? Is there like a
About
maps?
12 minutes.
That's
probably.
nothing.
I'm just guesstimating.
That's nothing.
Because we'd have to, unless you literally went from Fort Totten,
Then
but
you'd
then
see
you
it.
already see it, so your
Right.
quest is over when you start.
But like, you know how? Like, what if we kayaked underneath the Verrazano? You know how like cruise ships go underneath the Verrazano? Could we kayak as a cruise ship was going by us?
That area, I mean, you definitely can, but like, I wouldn't
Dangerous,
go
isn't it?
anywhere near a cruise ship.
It's dangerous, right?
Yeah, fuck you up. They make just huge wakes.
Yeah, it's a cruise ship.
Yeah,
But how far away would you say you have to stay from that?
30 yards, 40 yards. Even that, I would
Push it a little further,
I would not even be paddling. I would just be like keeping my balance.
bracing yourself.
Yeah.
So you think it would really rock us?
I've
This is
gone in like
fascinating. I
I've
kinda
gone in
want-
like water channels where with like boaters and like a boat coming fast.
can mess with you.
It you have to be careful. Yeah.
I'm like strangely intrigued by this. Like I'm worried about it, but I kind of want to do it.
Like like driving to Long Beach, all those water channels that you pass when you're going over
Yeah,
the bridge,
yeah.
like through there, like there's a lot of boat traffic, a lot of people on jet skis, everything, and
And then there you are, and you're just like.
yeah.
But they try to avoid you, don't they? Isn't that like their rule? Like they have to avoid you. You have to avoid
Well,
them.
some
It's easier for them to
parts-
avoid you.
Some parts of that they have a speed limit too. It'll be like 5 mile per hour, and it'll literally see signs that say no wake. So
So you
instead
can't
of
make a
you have to go at a speed where you don't create a wake.
right. Which kayak obviously will.
Well, yeah,
Not create a
paddlers
wake.
it doesn't matter.
But if you go into a territory where boats are going fast, it's kind of on you, right?
Yeah,
Now, what happens if you do flip over your kayak? Is it easy to get back in? It can't be.
it's not very easy.
No, I was gonna say has to be very difficult to get back in.
Depends how shallow you could be in very shallow water though. If you're in shallow water,
Then it's a
still
little
sucks,
easier.
but, yeah.
It sucks, but it's easier.
You could also kind of like
Like
tweak.
if you can't touch the bottom, how do you get back in?
It still floats.
Yeah,
So granted that it's
but
still
like,
upright.
wouldn't you pulling yourself up back into it, tip it over
I
again?
mean, like these kayaks, they're heavy and not really meant to
tip?
flip or flip back over easily. Like, let's see if I can find a little video of like a professional kayaker like practicing turning over, because some people kayak
Flip them on purpose, don't they?
Yeah, so say a big wave was coming from a giant cruise ship, there's like a certain way to lean in, like a nicer, more expensive kayak that's like fiberglass and like meant to turn and flip. That it just kind of you just lean and it just kind of flips you back upright. Let's see if I can find a quick video to show you.
This is fascinating stuff. I really want to kayak up the Hudson.
From here or just go up there? Because
No,
that's
like
what I
from
want
here.
to do. Like I have an app called I think it's called Go Paddling. It shows you like every launch, like anywhere.
No, I would want to do it from here.
I mean, I'd rather just drive up there and start up there. Let's see this guy.
You know what would be cool? Let me ask you a question. Could you do this? You ready? Let's see this.
The next guy that comes up, he's gonna do it. Not him, not him. I just saw it a second ago. And there it is.
Oh yeah. So he's underwater now. But how does he flip back over?
Oh, that was a bad example.
He just kind of flipped. Now let me ask you a question. This place that you're talking about here, the Hudson, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we parked the cars there, and how long would it take us to kayak here to the Bayside Marina from there?
Let me look. I gotta find it on the
How
map.
long would that take?
I just need to figure out roughly how many miles it is.
Because I feel like that would be cool, right? Like if we parked the car there, had somebody pick up the cars and drive them back, and we just kayaked all the way home to the Bayside Marina. Like that would probably be cool.
So we're looking at, where was it? There. 7, 14, 21, another 4, and then another 7, 14, 30. It's like 40 miles. Figure.
Is that doable? No. It's not doable, right? What's the most you can kayak?
I mean, it's obviously doable, like, but figure you go about 3 to 4 miles per hour when you're paddling well.
And that's at a quick pace, right? So that's not even like stopping to take a look around. Like you're.
No, like I'm saying speed wise. So I don't know how long you can hold that speed, but yeah, figure 3 miles per hour. So 40 miles. That's more than.
It's a whole day. It's like
12
14, 15
12
hours.
Yeah.
Which is impossible because then it gets dark outside. We have to start at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, so it's just not.
It's just not doable.
It's way up the Hudson. I mean, you can go. There's closer spots up the Hudson, but I just picked that spot because it has,
It looks cool.
lighthouses and stuff like that. It's cool.
Mm.
What are we at? 31 minutes.
Let me tell you something. Kayaking is fascinating, man. I want to do it more, but I just don't want to get eaten.
I mean, I wish it was more in the season for it. I didn't get to take these out this year, but
Because I think we can get Paul to go, right? Can you rent kayaks? Because I see you got
Yeah.
2 of them here, but you could obviously rent one, right?
yeah, that's another. Like that spot has rentals, so like you could rent right from there.
And again, like you can go anywhere you want.
Hey, wait, I'll show you this.
Like
map.
technically, you could kayak to Ireland.
I mean, sure.
How long would that take?
Rich has gone once. He's already trying to set Guinness Book of World Records.
What's the furthest anyone's kayaked?
I don't know.
I'm very intrigued by this.
See, look, this is the app called Go Paddling. It shows every like launch spot.
That you can kayak.
Yeah, so it's literally
So we pull out. Where's Bayside Marina?
right here.
How come it's not a launch spot?
It's a boating spot, so it's naturally a launch spot. But see, look, it even says
It has
Totten,
Fort
doesn't
Totten Park, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we take off from Fort Totten Park. How long is it taking us to get to Jersey?
to New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not very long at all.
Not long at all, right? So these are
'Cause
doable
that's-
things.
Actually, now I'm thinking of the Bronx.
Can you
But you'd have to go. It's a few hours.
kayak past the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, it's far though. The Statue of Liberty is very far.
But
from
you can
where
do
we
it.
live.
It's legal. Like you're not gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, but the Bayside Marina is not the most accessible, easiest
Place
path
to
to go
kayak.
to go. You know,
All
if
right.
you want to go to
You
the
find
Statue
us,
of Liberty,
Yes,
you may
find
want
us
to
a
start.
place to get to the Statue of Liberty.
You probably want to start in Brooklyn.
Okay,
You know,
let's do that then.
so look, just found a pier. That's like directly across.
From the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
So you're basically just right across.
Yeah.
And even that's probably how long.
Like mile wise?
Yeah.
I think it's like to the Statue of Liberty, maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles.
Okay.
And then Ellis Island's right there. What's this little island? This is that's Governor's Island.
So why don't we do that?
That you could definitely do.
So let's do that.
But then you'd have to well no. Logistically you'd have to like how do you I don't know if there's a rental place on Governor's Island.
Couldn't we just take these?
Yeah, but I can't drive to Governor's Island.
No,
I could
the
drive
Brooklyn Pier.
Yeah, I could drive to that pier.
Right. So then we kayak around Ellis Island and come back.
Look, it has a little beach.
So let's do that. Where's that? That's where people pull in,
Yeah, that's the pier in Brooklyn.
and that's where you pull out of, and then you go to Ellis Island.
You need you go to Ellis Island and what you call it, Liberty Island.
And it's not the
Lady
season
Liberty.
for it, though. Obviously, that's the only problem.
It's cold,
I mean, it's
but
November.
we're gonna have some warm days.
Yeah.
You know, and
I
the
would be
water,
in for this.
The water doesn't get cold for a while.
I would be in for this. If we can get Paul on board, I'd be in for us doing this. How do you take these places? What do? You tie them to the roof?
Those are racks right there.
You just put them on the roof?
Yeah, they clip on the roof and then
Nice.
you're off. It has little cradles that
Let's-
just sit.
Let's find a day for this.
Okay.
I want to do this. Because I feel,
I mean-
like, is there anything cooler than, like, what? What are you about to say? Is there anything cooler than, like, kayaking around the Statue of Liberty? I feel like that's pretty cool, right?
It's definitely pretty cool. We have some warm days coming up. Like I wish we weren't busy this weekend. It's gonna be 70 on Saturday.
Beautiful day for a kayak.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have more days like that.
Yeah.
I imagine.
They're gonna-
global warming and whatnot.
Yeah.
That would be my
For sure.
stance. That would be my stance. If I was president, I'd
Keep
be
global warming going
I'd
so we
be
can kayak.
No. Yeah, well, I'd be the big, like
The big global
almost
warming
like-
guy.
almost Al Gore like
Okay, yeah. Al Gore's the huge global warming guy.
big environmentalist.
I don't know if that's a good path. Look
I-
where it got Al Gore.
I would make everyone drive Elon's Teslas. He would be my VP.
Elon is actually. Did you see Dave Portnoy talking about wanting to be with Elon?
His running mate.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. What do you think their thing would be? Their campaign would be?
I mean, Elon just wants to fix everything.
Isn't Elon just a genius?
He's very, very smart.
All right, pick us a day for the Ellis Island kayak, and I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm 1,000% in for this. I think it would be really, really fun. I've never even been to the Statue of Liberty, and the first time I see it is going to be in a kayak.
I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah,
No?
of course. Yes.
How close have you been to it?
Not close at all. I think the closest I've been was on a cruise. We went past it.
Yeah.
That's about it, though.
I've gone to the island.
Never been there. Can you
See,
kayak
like-
to the Ellis Island? No.
I don't think when you get to these places with the kayak, you could just get off.
Leave the kayak there, walk around?
Yeah, I don't think you could do
Can't
that.
do that, right?
I think you have to
You got
buy
to
a
boat back.
ticket.
But you can get off.
No, like I'm saying, I don't think you could like dock at either of those places.
Just leave the kayak
'Cause I-
here. Yeah, that might be a little
I'm saying
difficult.
I think you could do a lap on a kayak and that's it. Like if you wanted to go
So
on
you
the
go
island,
to it, look around, and then come back. Or keep going. You can probably go east or west, right? You could probably like,
yeah, you can hit Atlantic City at this rate.
yeah, I know. I'm very ambitious with the kayaks, you know. I'm looking to go everywhere. So that Brooklyn Pier, we pull across, and we're only, like you said, like a mile or two away from Ellis Island, right?
Probably.
Cool. So you do that, but then let's say you go up the river a little bit more, or down the river, however that works out.
Yeah, then you got
Then you're probably
The
headed towards like
bridges.
the bridges and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then you
the
take a
Brooklyn
look around
Bridge,
there, lap
Manhattan
around,
Bridge,
and then come back to Brooklyn and
Williamsburg Bridge.
pull into the little beach, get back in the car, and come home. Have a little dinner.
Yeah.
You find a day for this. Find a day. I'm in. Find a day. Find a day. I think it would be nice. I think it would be a very nice day. I'm sure we can convince Paul. He could be in. I mean, you know, to like rent a kayak, right? Because we only have two.
Yeah,
of
as long as he doesn't have to park in Bayside.
them. Yeah. It's gonna pour all next week.
Yeah, but this weekend very nice out.
Yeah, yeah.
Would have been a good day.
What about Sunday?
Sunday.
Sunday kayak.
I mean, yeah, I could.
70 degrees.
Lauren's having her friends over, but
And that's Saturday.
that's Sunday.
Is it really?
Yeah, Saturday we got some birthday parties.
Cool.
Yeah, but if I was running for president, I'd be the.
You'd be the green guy.
Yeah, I'd be the green energy.
The green thumb.
You know, solar panels, electric cars.
Why do you think that hasn't taken off yet?
Solar panels?
Just everything green.
Mm,
Why is it not quite there? Aren't we like at a place in this world where we should have technology to do these things?
We do have the technology.
Or why aren't we?
People
why
just
aren't we
don't do
doing
it. Like we have, like the Tesla Model S is the fastest production car there is.
Right. Well, I'm not even just, you know,
And it's electric.
specifically talking about cars. I'm just talking about in general.
I mean, a lot of people are completely reliant on solar. Like they have solar powers and the panels.
Yeah, like specific houses will and stuff.
Yeah.
But like as a world, why have we not embraced this yet? Not even the United States. I'm just talking about as a world.
I don't know.
Because if you look at India and China, two of the biggest polluters in the world, they don't even care.
They're just
They can honestly care less. They're just like whatever.
polluting it up.
So, you know, it's like, I mean, I guess they don't have to, right? Like, there's no world law that you have to, like, do specific things. So,
There are like some laws, but they're not very strict.
There's
Like
treaties.
as far as like emissions and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
when you get your inspection, it has to pass a certain
like a
emissions.
catalytic converter and that one. Like,
Yeah, so that's what that does, and then it's based on per state. So
Right.
like some cars,
right, but that's the
they're-
United States. I'm talking about
yeah.
like the world. Like there's no. It's all
I
just
don't
kind
know.
of like the honor system, right? Like we all just have to kind of do it on our own. Unless the UN comes up with something that says like, okay, everybody needs to do this.
everyone needs to drive electric cars
Right.
by 2025.
Right, which I think California's doing.
Electric cars, like they're making it mandatory. I
They're
don't
not.
see that happening.
They're
but
not selling any
I mean,
gas cars.
A lot of them
after
do
2025.
incentives to buy electric cars and buy solar panels and stuff like that.
So what's the deal with an electric car? It's not a gas station, right? It's like charging station.
Yeah,
And there's got to be many, many less of those, right? Like there can't be as many of those
Not even-
as there are
it's
gas
not even
stations.
close.
It's not even close. So
which it's so much like take all the gas stations and just make them charger.
right, and I'm not
stations.
even saying you need to get rid of the gas. Just maybe cut it in half and do half gas, half electric, right? Couldn't you just do that? This way the people that still have the gas cars
the
have a
thing-
place to go also?
The thing about the charging is it just takes. It's not like instant, like putting in gas.
It takes a while.
Yeah,
So maybe that should be the next advancement. Because that's
Charging
that's
faster.
probably what's deterring a lot of people.
I mean,
like
it's-
if you're on the highway and you got to get gas, you don't want to stop for an hour.
No.
You just want to put in $20 quick, just get you where you got to go.
but it also lasts long. Like takes you longer. Like a fully charged battery can go for like, I think 450 miles.
So I was gonna
something
say,
like that.
so with the electric car, is it still based off miles? Like miles per gallon is gas. So is this like,
You
or is
can
this
get like,
hours? Like what if I'm sitting in the car and it's running, but I'm not actually driving?
I think it gives you a number like kilowatts per hour.
So it's almost like an iPhone battery, where it's like you could see how much longer you have until it's dead.
Well, yeah.
So I'll say
yeah,
like
it's-
98%.
it'll say a
97%,
percentage,
96%.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Now, but
But I'm saying even if you get in your truck right now and drive with maybe 250, 300 miles, I'm
Mhm.
saying that electric battery is going to get you further.
it's like 400,
yeah,
450.
and just last longer.
Is it just me, or is the electric cars not as nice as regular cars in terms of just look and style? Isn't that a thing?
I mean, I like how all the Teslas look.
The Tesla's right, but
The,
like, what if about people who like
Hummer,
Mercedes?
the
and they
new
like-
Hummer, fully electric.
What if you're a guy who loves a Mercedes or an Escalade or a truck? Or
Mercedes
like
has a bunch of E-Class, all electric, or some
Okay.
of them hybrid.
Isn't it just me though that like certain cars that are electric don't look like other cars? Don't they look different? They have like a different look to them.
I feel like obviously Teslas have their own look, but a lot of other electric cars you may not even know are electric.
You can't even
cars.
tell.
And some of them are just like sports cars looking.
Also, how
Like,
do you? Yeah, sports car. I would say a lot of them look like
like
sports
the
cars.
the BMW one.
Also, when you're charging it, is it the same as like where you have like a little lid on like the side of the car that you lift and then you put it in? Is that how
Yeah,
that works? Okay.
uh-huh, the
So
port.
that remains the same. Okay.
Like that's BMW's electric car.
Yeah, it looks like something you've seen in a James Bond movie, which is
So
what I think a lot of electric cars look like. I'm not saying it doesn't look
It's-
good.
it's a
I'm
sports
just saying
car,
it
like-
looks
so-
very James Bondish.
Like a Lamborghini obviously is gonna take up a lot of gas.
Right.
but
I'm
this
just
is
talking
like
about the
a-
person who like wants to drive around in like a 2007 Toyota. Like, can you do that and like have it be electric?
Yeah, there's electric cars that look normal.
See, I
Like
feel like the
the,
majority of them do not look normal. I feel like the majority that I've seen, at
Like
least,
the Nissan one. Some of them you may just not know are electric
are electric. Right? Yeah, it's possible.
because they look super normal.
Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like
Like Nissan just looks like a regular.
looks like a regular car. I think if these electric cars literally looked and functioned exactly the same as a gas car, but were electric, more people would be buying them. If we can make advancements in the fact that it takes an hour to charge it, because I feel like that's something that's definitely
I
deterring
mean, some
a lot
of them may
people.
be faster to charge.
I feel like nobody's gonna want. Like, what if you like?
I've really only looked into the Teslas.
And also, isn't this a problem with the electric cars? What if I pull off on the highway and my battery's dying on my car? I got like 7% left of my battery, and two people, like a guy,
I
literally.
think they do have reserves to like prevent stuff like that.
Because like, what if a guy pulls in right before me? Then I gotta wait an hour before he's done.
I mean, right now it's just not that many people.
That have those cars.
Yeah.
But if you
But it's
happen to come across somebody that does
See, like,
ahead of
these are
you, you
all
gotta
electric-
wait.
These are all electric cars.
Yeah, see,
They're all super normal.
They kind of
looking,
look, yeah, all right. They look normal cars.
so they're just blending in.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And then for some, you usually have to hook up a thing at your house too.
Now, do these also
You have to hook up like a big charger
at your house to
Yeah.
like charge your car
to charge it
at
overnight.
home?
Yeah.
See, I feel like if you could charge your car at your house, that
See, like, I
eliminates a
wouldn't
lot
do
of the
it
need
here
for a gas station.
If we're like renters, there's nowhere near here to charge, and we obviously don't have a house to hook it up at.
Right.
So it's not plausible for us to
So
have an
people who
electric
live in
car.
apartments are just immediately eliminated from the electric car business. Gone.
Unless it's like a hybrid where when you brake, the regenerative braking, it charges the battery.
Can you buy a charging station almost like a barbecue and put it in here?
I don't know if I think it has to be like hooked up to power from somewhere.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's just another battery.
See, this is what I'm talking. I feel like
But
they've made a lot of
then you get
advancements,
solar
but there's still a
powers
long
on
way to
our
go.
roof.
Yeah. You see, this is just so
Solar power. The
from what I've
car.
heard, the concerns with this now, does it still have an engine?
No.
It doesn't have an engine.
No.
Doesn't have any of the inside part. What's under the hood? Nothing.
It's a trunk.
The hood is the trunk.
Hood is another trunk.
Yeah.
You get two.
See,
trunks.
this is where you're gonna lose a lot of the people's
You
support.
get two trunks.
You're gonna lose a lot of support.
The
with
Tesla
people
truck, 2 beds, 2 truck beds.
That's pretty cool. The Tesla truck, 2 truck beds, one in the front, one in the back.
It is.
Yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of people there.
What? Not having an engine?
Yeah, because people aren't gonna support anything that's gonna completely wipe out the automotive industry, mechanics. You know how many people are gonna lose jobs?
I mean, they just get. They have to adapt or die.
How are you gonna have a guy
That's
who
like
only knows how to be a mechanic
See,
adapt?
like, I mean, your argument there is like, oh, let's keep Blockbuster Video around because those guys have to work.
No, the people at Blockbuster were the 14-year-old kids. It was their first job.
Yeah, but
And that's
still,
not a
there's
skill.
still people
Working
that,
at Blockbuster is not a skill.
there's still people that
You go to trade school to be a
Were-
mechanic. You don't go to school to learn how to work at Blockbuster.
there's still people that were financially relying on that job at Blockbuster, whether they owned it or they worked at it, or
Right.
managed it.
Yeah, that's an adapt or die situation, but it's not a skill. We're not training people to work at Blockbuster. Like, if I got hired at Blockbuster tomorrow, let's say they came back and I got hired tomorrow as the manager at a Blockbuster, I could probably do it. You could do it. Anybody could do it. What do you got to do? There's nothing to do. Mark the videos, mark the tapes,
You
bring this
sign-
back in a week,
sign 'em in
rewind
and
it.
out.
Well, yeah, come on. This is not a skill. This is it's almost like a I don't even know what other jobs require very lack of skill. I want to say I would think working at McDonald's
Cashier.
requires more skill than working at Blockbuster. Wouldn't you think?
I don't think working at McDonald's requires very much skill.
But I think it requires more skill than Blockbuster.
I don't know. Maybe at Blockbuster you had to know, you know, the
Do you have a certain movie?
Yeah, you had to know some
Again, we could do that.
recommendations.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, at least takes a little bit of knowledge.
So if somebody says to me, "Do you have Tommy Boy?" I'm gonna be like, "Go check the comedy section." What the hell are you asking me? I don't know. Go look in the comedy aisle.
But a good Blockbuster employee would
Yeah.
say row H,
Well, they did that. They
aisle,
had that.
aisle B.
They would type it in on their little computer back when computers were new. They would type in
The
Tommy
little
Boy. Now,
IBM.
now Dan rented it last week. Still not back. Look at that. Huh? I don't know. You're gonna lose a lot of people with that. I think that's been people's major issue with green as a whole. Is that would eliminate a lot of jobs, which is gonna be very difficult to get support behind. Which is why it hasn't garnered the support
I
that
mean,
it probably
they still have
should
to,
yet.
They still have to be built.
They have to be built, but the things that we currently have in place also need to be managed. And I think you're going to lose a lot of
Like
people's
gas
support with
cars aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
that. California, I'm telling you, they're getting rid of them. They're not selling gas cars beyond 2025. I think is the year. It might be 2030, but I think it's 2025. They will no longer
I just
sell.
feel like there's not enough
gas cars.
like types and models that. of
Well,
electric
California
cars
might
that-
have more. California might have more. In fact, they have
just
5 years to
more
prepare for.
cars that no one.
No, more
has heard
charging
about.
stations. More.
Oh, charging stations and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. But I think there just needs to be more cars built.
Yeah.
Because then it's also, I think there's like a bottleneck of them building batteries. I feel like they can't build these electric cars as fast as they build a gasoline car.
Do you feel with your with this whole green thing that like Elon Musk and all these guys, Al
Yep,
Gore.
because I'm the
and-
green guy.
I know you are. You're the green guy. So I'm gonna ask you the questions about the green stuff because I don't know much about the green stuff.
Pedophilia and
Yeah.
solar panels.
Yep. Pedophilia and saving the planet so that we can have more pedophiles. So, do you think, in your opinion, because obviously you know more about this than I do, let's say America, the United States, went green and we were able to adapt things like solar panels, electric cars, more charging stations, power, energy without having any kind of population or pollution, I should say.
Wait, repeat the question. I was reading something.
The United States of America advances technology to the point where everybody drives an electric car. There's no more pollution. Solar panels are everywhere. It's how we get all of our energy, all of our power. Let's say that becomes a thing in the United States, right? 15, 20 years down the road, whatever it may be. Is that enough to save the world? Because when we're talking about green and we're talking about pollution, we're not just talking about the United States. We're talking about the world. So if America were to do it, is that enough? Like, let's say India and China and Russia and all these other places that pollute their ass off. Is the United States doing that
So
enough to
just
delay it?
Just completely 100% reducing our carbon footprint, you're saying?
Will help, but by how much?
I mean,
If the other countries remain polluting.
I don't know like the exact science to it, but I'd imagine it has to.
It has to help, right?
Yeah.
We're one of the biggest countries
It
in the world.
1,000% has to.
But if you look at the grand scope of the world, if everybody else is still polluting,
Because like,
what is it buying us? Is it just buying us a few
Well,
more years? Like,
we
what is
may
it
even
doing?
we're probably very high on the list of the carbon footprint.
I think that America is probably doing more than any other country in terms of being green, right? Like, I don't think other countries are doing this nearly as much as we are.
Let's pull it.
Can't be.
The world's carbon footprint.
I feel like ours has to be. I mean, just by sheer population alone. You know, I'm not even going to count countries that are, islands and they have 15,000 people that live there. Like that's ridiculous.
So we're second.
Who's number one?
China. China's at 23% of the world's carbon footprint. Actually, this is an old chart. That's 2008.
Okay, so now it's probably.
Okay, we're still second.
And when you say carbon footprint, that means we're one of the biggest polluters in the world.
Yeah. As far as just emissions,
Emissions, right. So would you say that the United States, while being one of the...
28% China.
And what are we, 23, 24?
15%.
Nice, okay.
7% India. 5% Russian Federation.
Mm-hmm.
3% Japan. 2% Germany.
Okay. So would you say that we are one of the best so far at kind of leading this green movement in the world?
I mean, if we were, I feel like we wouldn't be,
Polluting?
second.
Well, no. I don't think that's fair because I feel like the only reason that we're second is because of our population. If you look at that list, it's all the countries with the biggest populations.
I mean,
you can't.
Isn't India? Don't they have more people
Yeah,
than
they
us?
do. Yeah,
And
they absolutely do.
they're half of our emissions.
But they also have less cars, so there's no cars in India. Very,
So
very few.
That could be part of it. We
It's
need
got to be huge part of it.
better, more efficient public transit, and then
Right. So I see your point, but I think that that's always going to be the list just based off population. Like we're always going to be one of the highest polluters because of population, but I think from what I see,
Like
we've
things
done a pretty
like-
good job advancing this at least.
Things like the Hyperloop. You've read into that at
I
all?
don't even know what that is.
So, Elon is working on these underground tunnels that have these tube-looking. They're like train cars. That
A train underground?
yes,
Okay.
but it's completely worked off, almost like compressed air, and just pressure of the tunnel. So, and it's
I see. Isn't that-
that and electric.
So it's like the subway, but with
Yeah, but like a super subway. So think of walking to the railroad right here, getting in it, and being to Washington, D.C. in less than half an hour.
less than half an hour.
Yeah.
I feel like I would be terrified. We got to be moving about 900 miles an hour.
Yeah, but it's underground, compressed, and like it's supposed to be. It's the next big thing.
All underground.
Yeah, you don't feel the G-force of like moving that quickly.
You are moving that quickly. You just don't
'Cause
feel it.
Just like on an airplane,
Yeah, I was gonna say airplane. You don't feel
you're
like
moving
that
600
fast,
miles
right?
per hour, but
You don't feel it.
it's not like it's gonna go from 0 to 900 miles per hour. It's gonna go from 0. It's gonna be fast, you know.
You able to walk around?
I think so. I think it's gonna be like a full-blown train car,
The Hyperloop.
Hyperloop.
That's his new thing.
He wants to get it all over the country. So like, you know,
So
New
we
York
could-
to California in like half the time.
3 hours, let's say.
Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours.
Well, actually, no.
I would go
it's-
every
it's
weekend.
6 hours by plane.
Yeah.
So this is probably like maybe 6 hours or 8 hours by train.
If it was 3 hours and super affordable, I'd go every weekend.
To California? Of course. Why not?
I'd go everywhere.
Gonna be back in no time.
You go everywhere.
You can watch Saving Private Ryan on the way back, and you're home. You're back in New York.
But he has
See, now that kind of thing.
he has some of them built in California already.
The Hyperloop.
His
People
on,
are riding
on
them?
property that he like owns and whatnot.
Fascinating. That guy's just involved in everything, man.
So that's what it looks
Didn't you tell me he was like working on something? Yeah, see that? That almost looks like a plane. Didn't you tell me he was working on something like a cure for something where it's like you put a chip in your head?
He's actually very close with that. The Neuralink.
What is that to fix?
I think a lot of the practical uses of that are people with like severe migraines so far. False limbs, like if you say you lost your hand and you get that like pain of like
Not having a hand.
yeah, and like you feel like you have a hand and all that. I
yeah.
think it fixes some of that stuff. He's gonna do crazy stuff with that. He was talking about it on Joe Rogan, but that's supposed to be one of
That guy's unbelievable.
his closest endeavors to like opening up and.
So that and the
Getting
Hyperloop
introduced
are
into the
both
world.
pretty close.
I mean, the Hyperloop is like. I think it's just a lot of like logistical things that are keeping it up, like because you have to tunnel underground, like
Yeah.
just
Which could be cool.
just fixing a pothole on
Creates a lot
42nd
of-
Street.
Creates a lot of jobs, but you would think that there has to be so much because it's like pipes underground and actual tunnels underground that like you have to make sure.
Some of that stuff only goes so deep though. He's going like way deep.
He's like way under the ground.
Because think about like how much
So
easier
it's not like the Holland Tunnel. This guy is like talking about.
he's going way
Okay.
underground and making like systems of like roadways almost underground.
That's unbelievable. He's basically like redesigning the subway system.
Yeah.
But cross country. It's almost like redesigning Amtrak. But Amtrak is above ground for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Wow. Fascinating. Elon Musk. 2024.
See, he had a demonstration of it not that long ago. But we digress.
We digress.
What are you at?
58 minutes.
58 minutes, pretty good.
It's a good show. Covered a lot today. Here's my challenge for you, Billy.
Run for president.
No, forget that. You're going to lose off the pedophile thing. Find us a day where we can go kayaking to Ellis Island.
Okay. That's easier than running for president.
Find us a day.
There it is, the Hyperloop.
Yeah, see that? That's extremely
This is
fast.
his California one. He has this like huge property in California that's like literally this and Tesla and SpaceX that he just works on 24/7.
See, now I'm just, playing devil's advocate with these things because I'm thinking about the subway and stuff. Subway, train derails, the majority of people survive. This derails,
I don't think
got
it
to
can
be instant
really,
death for everybody,
I
right?
don't think it can derail. Because I don't think it's on rails. See, look, yeah, it's on air.
Well, it's on something, right? So couldn't something go wrong? It has to be on something.
Once it gets in the capsule, I think it's just pressurized air.
So it's just running on air?
It's just pressurized. Like think about like getting a biscuit, like those biscuits out of the Pillsbury dough thing. You just kind of squeeze it. It's just
So that for 6,000 miles across the country.
3,000, but yeah.
3,000 miles. Interesting. I mean, why stop there? You could get China in 14 hours.
I think
Less.
less. I think less. I think like 7.5 hours.
7.5 hours to go to
8
Beijing.
hours.
I would do that. Spend a weekend.
That's still far.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to be that connected with people. You really want people to be able to come here in hours? I don't want it. I don't want it.
I mean, I would go other places.
I mean, I go there now.
Go to Philadelphia for cheesesteaks just for dinner. You know, it's like 10, 15 minutes probably.
I'll be back in 15. That's got to be very expensive, though, that thing, right? It's probably like
He's going to make it like super affordable. That's his
so
plan.
that people can actually do it.
Yeah, almost like paying public transit.
And he'll
Or like Amtrak
So what's the
prices.
next step for him? Finding a developer that can actually put this into motion and actually get the.
See,
It's going to take forever because he has to get permits in every state to build underneath their ground.
yeah, like I
It's going
don't
to take forever.
like Joe Rogan was asking him this question. He didn't really get like a full-blown answer because the way Elon thinks and talks is just not like
A normal person.
a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just like, where do you go with this? Like when you say I want to tunnel underground and build this crazy hyperloop, where do you take this? Like, I don't know.
You can go anywhere, can't you?
I'm saying like, who do you talk to?
Yeah, right. Now you have the concept.
Like, do
so
you
the next
go-
step is what? Is
Do
it?
you go to like the governor and say, hey, I'm gonna fix your entire public transit?
I don't know if you would necessarily get. All right.
go to
So
the
is his
president?
plan to? Is this his plan to get rid of the subways and get rid of Amtrak and get rid of those things, or is this an addition?
I think he just likes to improve things.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I don't think it would make the subway obsolete
Now in
because obviously local it would still be a great way to get around for
now
the time being.
we've been the last couple weeks DraftKings and Rhode Island with the casino and the betting. Right now, your money on the table is this nationwide by the time you die.
By the time I die, yeah.
You think so?
Mhm.
The Hyperloop?
Yeah.
Nationwide. So before you die, you'll be able to go from here to California in 3 hours, is what you're telling me. Or
Yeah.
less.
It
Whatever
may-
it may be.
Well, let's pull it up. Before I die, yeah, I think so.
Okay. That gives Elon what? 60 years? 70 years?
How old am I?
25? 26?
Yeah, so maybe like 12 years.
Elon's got to get cracking. Elon told me. He's got some time. He's got some time to work with.
So, okay. Serial entrepreneur and billionaire Elon Musk is set to unveil design plans today for the Hyperloop, a super-fast transport system that backers say could take people from New York to Los Angeles in 45 minutes.
45 minutes, New York to L.A. Billy, you said it was 45 minutes from New York to D.C. New York to L.A. in
I
45 minutes.
What do I know about physics? New York to Beijing in just 2 hours.
Oh, my God. Come on. This guy, that is just, that is the ultimate mind in a
Some-
pretzel. If that ever, oh, God, can you imagine that? What is
Some
that?
of it's just based on theory, but it's saying it can get to 4,000 miles per hour.
What is New York to Australia? That's got to be like fucking
I don't know. It's just
an hour? Like, what?
Yeah.
That is insanity. That is bananas.
see like the New York to Beijing thing.
Oh,
I don't think will happen in my lifetime. Maybe
that is, you think that's a little outlandish?
I just don't know
Well,
how.
why
Like
no,
I don't, just
I
don't
don't
know how
know,
you
because
dig under the ocean. Like how do you dig across the whole Atlantic?
What do you mean? They've done it with Holland Tunnel. They did it with tunnels. It happens all the time. Not
Yeah, the
not to
Holland
this
Tunnel-
degree, obviously.
It's not across the entire Atlantic or the entire Pacific.
So, 80 years from now, is this a thing?
In 3 hours we can be in
100
Beijing.
years from now?
3 hours. We'd go tonight.
Yeah, why not?
Let's get egg rolls.
Let's Chinatown loves those egg rolls. Yeah, why not? Go to Beijing. Can't get fresher Chinese food than that.
I can go to Beijing and be back for work.
That is insane. Insane.
Like, whoops, forgot my wallet. Gotta
Th-
go back.
Oh, sorry, I'll be back in 45 minutes.
Might be 5 minutes late.
That
for
is bananas. Bananas. And I tell you what, you know who's panicking about this the most? The airline industry, because they become completely obsolete.
Especially, well,
Completely obsolete. There is no reason for anybody to ever get on a plane again if this becomes a thing. Why would
unless
you?
you're afraid
This is
of
gonna
being
be
underground
cheaper.
with the mole people.
This is going to be cheaper, quicker, and probably safer.
You hit one of the mole people.
Airlines gone. Imagine. Which I think is probably part of his plan, right? Because aren't they a big reason why we're polluting so much?
I mean, the green guy
Wow,
says yes.
that's unbelievable.
Because domestic airline travel has to be one of the biggest.
It's one of the biggest industries in the world.
No, I'm saying causes of pollution.
That's what. Yeah. So, if there's literally no reason for airlines anymore, if this is a thing, maybe just as like a backup if you can't get a ticket to Beijing. But
Oh, I gotta sit in the sky for 6 hours.
oh god, terrible.
He also wants to make space travel like affordable and easy, and like everyone would be able to go to Mars.
See, this is where I think he might just be a little out of his range.
I mean,
Fascinating guy though.
he's working at it at least. I don't
Fascinating
know
guy.
if I'll be able to like take a domestic flight to Mars in my lifetime, but I hope so.
That'd be nice.
I'm pushing for it.
Well, you'd have to, I guess, first find out if we could survive there, right? We don't even know that yet.
Yeah.
So
But
that would be
there's
step one.
Yeah. We have to get a person there before we get a
Right,
population.
But it's also not a matter of getting a person there. It's like, can a person survive there? Yeah, they may be able to survive for an hour.
well, there's also
But
ideas
can they
that
survive there for a long
there's
amount of
also
time?
ideas if you go there and create like plant life and stuff like that and grow
It should become
it'll
habitable.
it'll make like greenhouse gases and it'll create an atmosphere
Like
much like
oxygen.
ours. Which has been everyone's like theory for a long time. We just haven't been able to test it.
Bananas.
And it'll also take probably a very long time.
Bananas. 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 But so let me ask you a question. If we move to Mars, doesn't this make this whole green thing kind of useless?
I
You
mean,
didn't think about that one,
it's a
did you?
good backup plan.
I guess if this one kind of
No
goes
one's
to shit, we
no
can just
one's
move to a different one.
no one's buying in on my plan, so fuck you guys. I'm the new
I'm
president
going
of
to
Mars.
I'm the guy here.
I'm
Why
the green
not?
guy. I'm the red guy now.
I'm the red guy. Red green guy. Like Christmas. Phew. Man, listening to him and listening to his ideas will put your mind in a pretzel.
Have you heard his Rogan podcast? It's just
No,
like
I gotta
oof.
listen to it. That's one where he smoked weed, right? And everybody was giving him a hard time.
Well, that was the first time he was on, and then the second time he was on, he got into some of the other stuff too. But every time he's on, it like listen to him talk about AIs. AIs is crazy.
Like robots?
Yeah, artificial intelligence. The way
He wants AIs? Or he wants, like...
well, technically they already exist in his eyes.
Well,
like
what does he consider a
your phone-
robot? You're right.
Your phone is an artificially intelligent extension of yourself. That you just
Yes. I agree with him.
it's just already.
So maybe not robots in the sense of, like, something walking up to us right now and asking us, you know.
No, I think just artificial intelligence in general.
Well, we already have that.
I mean, I think robots are just expensive and almost pointless. But around his shop, most of the Teslas are built by robots.
Yeah, right. Like, all these warehouses and stuff are
Yeah.
probably just fully robotic.
It's a lot of automated stuff.
Wild. I gotta listen to that. Find us a day to go kayaking, though. Ellis Island. Before it's too late. God only knows he's going to eliminate that next. Probably be there in 3 seconds. Like,
No.
He's going to think of something where if I just blink, I'm going to be
He's
there.
not attacking recreational activities.
Nah, he doesn't want to get rid of those.
No, I think he's very for recreational activities.
Well, then find us a day.
I
Pull-
mean,
Pull out of Brooklyn. We'll go to circle around Ellis Island a little bit. Maybe go under a bridge. It'll be a good time.
see some wildlife.
I don't want to see too much wildlife. I just kind of want to.
There's been shark sightings in the Hudson, right?
I don't know. I'm sure.
I feel like that's probably odd for them.
Odd for them to be in the Hudson.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's hope we don't find out that day. I mean, kayaking is a very popular thing in New York City, right? Like,
Yeah, a lot of people go.
can't imagine that would be happening if they were all getting eaten.
Not every time a shark's around does it mean
It's going to
people are
attack you.
getting eaten.
I just don't want to be in that situation. Like, I don't want to be in the situation where I have to shit my pants and pedal back to Brooklyn because there's a shark
Well,
near
you
me.
definitely don't want to shit because it makes shark sugar.
Is that what that is?
It's literally a term because
They love it.
They're attracted to the shit.
They love it.
It's like blood.
Blood, too,
It's
right?
like blood in the water.
I don't know what I would do. If I saw a fin. Even if it was a dolphin, it just
I've
really,
been near
really,
dolphins.
really throw me off. Really throw me off. Pick a day. I think it'll be fun. Episode 20, Garage Party Podcast, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, Google Podcast. We hope you enjoyed on YouTube our 3 new cameras. We didn't mess around too much with the board this time, but this was more of a deep dive podcast where we talk about actual topics like the Hyperloop and some things that'll blow your mind. Garage Party Podcast, episode 20. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check back for episode 21 next week. We'll have another new little wrinkle that we're going to mix in as well. So, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan.
Catch you later.
Later.
Where's the split screen?
There it is.
is.
Later.
Hey.